What's going on, everybody? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another cheeky little video for you. A preview video for the Villarreal versus Manchester United game taking place tomorrow in the Champions League. With Michael Carrick at the wheel. Lads and lasses and everybody in here, thank you very much for joining us. How are we all doing tonight? Get in there. Thank you for joining us. We've got a lot to get into tonight. There's some interesting news as well, but we'll get into all the team news, predictions, selection, thoughts, opinions, and all the rest of it throughout this video. Do us a favour at the start of it, though, and hit the thumbs up button if you're just joining us. Give it a cheeky little like. We've already got 26 likes on the vid. Get in there. Thank you very much, everyone who's done that. Give it a share on social media as well. Spread it out there far and wide, my friends. Project it onto toilet walls or wherever you can. No, just give it a share on Twitter or whatever. But if you could do that, it's much appreciated. Let's get into it then, lads and us. So let me see who's in here. Let me just put it in out of top chat, put it into live chat here. I can see we have got Eddie Trooper, mate. What's going on? Chris Weston, Rush Barno, Aaron Homeyard, Ruthless Sausage, Sound Dog, Billy, Eddie O2, Freddie Kelly, Bell691, Mason M, Ruthless Sausage, Night Whisper, and everyone else as well. Get in there, lads and lasses. Villarreal coming up. Solskjaer has gone. Michael Carrick has taken over as temporary manager. We've got like a really nice guy, substitute teacher in here, who I don't know if he's got control of the classroom. You know, he's just coming in for the day, basically to look after the staff here. That's what it seems like. He's only going to be here probably for this game and the Chelsea game, with any luck, really, because we do need to not mess around when it comes to appointing a new manager and actually taking us forward in a proper direction. So I hope it doesn't linger on for a long time with Michael Carrick at the wheel, because he's not experienced, he's not got the credentials to do it. Even if he does win the next few games, like, it doesn't really change anything. Like, he's not an experienced man. He's not going to be long-term manager, but he is here for these games. So come on, Michael Carrick. Let's be having you, Michael. Come on. He's also a really nice guy, isn't he, Michael Carrick? You know, always loved him as a player at United. Definitely a nice person. Got a lot of time for Michael Carrick, to be fair. He's had a hand, obviously, in how bad Manchester United have been playing recently. Of course he has. He's one of the coaches, so he's got some sort of impact as to how bad we've been playing. He's not the be-all and end-all. Solskjaer, and obviously these other coaches and the players and everybody involved is partly responsible here. But Carrick is not the solution long-term, is he? In fact, this is just really an opportunity for them to sack off Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and get somebody in just as a short-term spell until they can figure out what to do. It seems like United are actually going to appoint an interim manager at some point as well. There's talks of Steve Bruce at this moment in time. Manchester Evening News reporting that. We'll get into that a bit later on. But Manchester United might appoint an interim manager until somebody permanent takes over in the summer, or when there's actually somebody available, basically, who's good for the job. But for now, Carrick is going up against Unai Emery. What he needs to do is he needs to turn into like Buffy the Vampire Slayer tomorrow. He needs to go in there. He needs to have some sass, some attitude, some confidence, set the team up well, set the team up to, you know, actually be different to what we've been doing recently, and drive a wooden stake through the heart of that vampire Unai Emery tomorrow over in Spain. That's what we have to do, guys. So hopefully Carrick can do it. Let's just have a look at the little bit of form and stuff like that, guys. We're going to talk about it. So we're going to talk about the form. Now, the good thing is it's kind of the battle of the really shit teams at the moment. That's what I would say. If United were coming up against a really informed team, I would be a little bit more concerned right now. United are in terrible form. Our league form is shocking. In fact, if you actually look at the league form, never mind our position in the league, but just the form in the league, the Premier League, that is, which is what we can go on, really. We are 17th in the form league. That is absolutely shocking. I mean, that is no wonder Solskjaer did get sacked, to be fair. 17th in the form league for Manchester United in the Premier League. That is shocking. That's over the last 6 games. So that's pretty awful. Villarreal, on the other hand, though, they're 16th in the form table over in La Liga. I believe they're 12th in the league. But they're actually 16th in the form table. Their form is absolutely terrible. So that does fill me with a little bit of hope and confidence that we can smash them up, because Villarreal are not looking too good right now. They're also in a bit of a period of just disdain. So surely this is a winnable game for Manchester United. It's not going to be easy. You look at the fixtures, obviously, that we've had in the Champions League. We've struggled. They've done all right as well, to be fair, in the Champions League, which is sort of where it counts. So it's not an easy game. Plus, we're away from home. We've got Carrick at the wheel with his first game in charge. That is going to be difficult for anybody coming in here to try and get a result here. Does he go progressive? Does he change it up? Does he go super attacking? Does he just like set him up 4-3-3 and say, get out there and get at them? Or does he stick with what he's been sort of working with and what the lads have been doing all season long, seeing as most of the coaching staff is here and not too much is going to change? He has said beforehand that he knows what he sort of wants to do. He's not going to give too much away. But, you know, that's up to him to get the lads to perform and set them up in the right sort of way. Now, in terms of formation, in terms of system and style, I just got to have a sip here, guys. I'm turning into Sean Dyche, guys. No. It's my greatest fear is to turn into Sean Dyche. Hello, my name's Sean Dyche. Give me about a year. I'm going to be coming on here like this. Peggy? All right, Mum. Get out my pub, you slag. I'm going to be coming on here in about a year's time, sounding a little bit like Sean Dyche. It's not good. Hang on. No, I'm just in at the moment, so let's have a little bit of sip of Coke. That should sort us out a little bit. That's the answer. Right, okay then. So the formation, I mean, the prediction, this is sort of my honest prediction of what I think Carrick's going to do. So just to cover the team news very quickly, lads and lasses, for anybody that's interested, we do have a few players out. Obviously, Pogba's still out long-term injured for a few months now. He's going to be. Raphael Varane, hamstring injury, he's out as well for a while. Luke Shaw may not be playing either because he could have a possible concussion. So maybe Tellez will be featured at left back. Mason Greenwood has tested positive for COVID-19. Let's get some love hearts in there for Mason Greenwood. You know, for he's got COVID, so he's isolating. He can't play. Edinson Cavani, you know, has a tendon issue. He remains a doubt. He might feature, but he definitely does remain a doubt. Gerard Moreno looks set to miss out for them. That's about all the injury news we've got for them. So in terms of like who's available, this is what I think is going to be the situation. By the way, 72 of you in here, get involved, get your starting 11s in the live chat as well. We'll dip in and out of the live chat, but I'm just going to say my piece right here at the start of this stream. But do get involved in the live chat and do smash that thumbs up on the video if you haven't done so. So this is what I think is going to be the team. So I think he's going to go 4-2-3-1. We're away from home, remember. I think they've been working on this. They know what they're doing. They're drilled. I think he's going to select Tellez, a left back, because Shaw may be not available. Slabbington, Maguire, captain in the side, with Victor Bloody Dwindleoff next to him. David Hare in goal, Wan-Bissaka at right back. I think Donny van der Beek. Let's just talk about Donny van der Beek for a moment, because Donny has to start, really. I think he sort of picks himself. Carrick, it's very easy for Carrick to select Donny van der Beek. That's something that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer didn't do, and there was no real basis for it, especially when you see how bad McTominay and Fred were playing. You look at Donny van der Beek's recent game, how he performed in that second half last time out. He was one of the shining lights in the side in an absolute shit show of a performance. But he actually looked really good. So he picks himself, in my opinion, here. Carrick's going to put Donny in there, I think. The midfielder next to him, I guess that's a big question mark. You could take your pick. I've gone with Matic in this particular instance. I think he's the coolest on the ball out of all the other three, Fred and McTominay. Carrick was a pass master. Carrick was a cool customer. Surely Carrick knows that. So Carrick could put some pass master in there, Matic and Donny in particular there, just to control that midfield, not bottle it and give it away. Bruno Fernandes, he's got to play, doesn't he? Bruno Fernandes, if he's fit, even though he's not looked very good recently, Bruno has to play. Greenwood's not available, so Sancho over on that right-hand side. Rashford, if he's fit, if he's available. If not, it will be Martial, of course, I guess. But Rashford, I think, over on that left-hand side. With Cristiano Ronaldo up top, who also picks himself. So I could see him doing something gash-tastic, like going with the 4-2-3-1 and keeping it pretty similar to sort of what we've been doing, because that's what we've been working on. I don't really think that Carrick and McKenna and these guys are just going to miraculously change things around since Solskjaer's gone. You know, it's been literally a day or two, and they've been working on certain things. They can't change too much. In terms of formation, in terms of style, what can they really change? I don't think they're going to do anything miraculous. So I think that's a possibility there in terms of a starting lineup. But then again, United going away in the Champions League, maybe they'll set up with some sort of system like this. So this is obviously a similar system to what we've been working with recently as well. You've seen it in some games. Go out there, grind out a filthy, dirty result, and don't give anything away, really. Keep it tight. Don't let them get at us with their wingers and, you know, like they did last time and cause us problems. Just keep it fucking tight. Go there away. Don't lose the game. I could see Carrick setting us up like this as well with the players who's available too. So Tellez left wing back, Maguire by Lindelof, De Gea in goal, of course, again. And then, of course, you've got, let me just make it a little bit larger. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Matic, Donny, Bruno, Ronaldo, Martial I've chucked up there on this instance. So, that is also a possibility. I think it'll be one of these two. Now, that's easier to say, obviously, because those are the system we've been playing. But the point I'm making is, I don't think we're going to see a massive change with system or personnel or approach or style or selection or any of that business. It's going to be more of the same guff, which sort of begs the question, maybe they should have just kept Solskjaer a little bit longer until Pochettino or whoever they actually did want to succeed was available, because now we've just got the same approach, same coaching staff, except we're missing Solskjaer. So aren't we just the same but slightly weaker? Piss poor. Anyway, so there you go, guys. Which formation, I'll just ask you guys in the live chat really quickly, what formation do you think Manchester United will line up with under Michael Carrick tomorrow? Bear in mind it's a Champions League game. Bear in mind we're away from home. What formation do you guys think Michael Carrick will rock up with? Have a cheeky little vote in the live chat really quickly. 4231, 352, 442, 433. Let me know what you guys think. 4231 says Connor Matthews. Mike Bassett 442. Johnny, I love that comment, Johnny. He says 4231 with McFred. 4231 with McFred. Could you just imagine that? You know what? I'm sorry, but if Carrick selects McFred in the centre of midfield tomorrow, I'm going to lose my freaking shit. Are you serious? We can't possibly tolerate that. He's not going to do that. Surely he knows. Surely he's astute enough to know that if he does that, he's just asking for trouble, Rushmano says a 9-1. Yes, exactly. We're going to go uber defensive. Freddie Kelly says 5-3-2. Eddie O2 says 4-2-3-1. I see Carrick doing the same as Ole. Carrick doing the same as Ole with counter-attack crap. Glazers out. Eddie O2, lad, I can see the similarities, my friend. I don't see there's going to be a miraculous change in thinking and change of way of playing over literally a 48-hour period when this guy is part of the coaching staff and was part of the coaching staff under Ollie and advising Ollie and coaching the players and having them play a certain way. Like, surely he's already had a big influence in how we're playing here. So, yeah. So, S Van B's comments, he thinks a 4-3-3. Now, I would actually say, yes, I think that might be the case if we were playing this game at home. Because I think Carrick at Old Trafford, he would want to set us up super attacking and just go for it. Of course he would, might as well. But because this is a game away and it's in the Champions League and we're in a sort of position where we're both on 7 points, Atalanta are on 5, there's a couple of games remaining, it's a little bit touch and go. We've got to get a result here. I think United get through as long as we win one of our last 2 games or we draw both of them. I think we're guaranteed to as long as we win one of them or draw both of them. So yes, we need to make sure we get a result here. Ideally, the win to get the Champions League qualification basically wrapped up. But I guess a draw under the circumstances wouldn't be the worst result in the world. But as I say, Villarreal are definitely beatable at home here. They've had bad form. Let me just have a look at these fixtures, guys. So I've got their form guide up here, and it makes for pretty gash-tastic reading. Like I say, 16th in the league over in La Liga. They lost 2-1 to Osasuna. They lost 2-1 to Athletic Bilbao. They drew 3-3 with Cadiz. They lost 2-0 to Valencia. They beat Getafe 1-0. Well, big whoop. And they drew with Celta Vigo 1-1. Some pretty shit teams they've been getting whipped by there, if you ask me. I really don't think they're exactly in a good run of form. I haven't been watching La Liga this season, I'm sorry to say. But I'm looking at the La Liga table and it looks for pretty interesting reading, like they're pretty shite. They're in 12th place overall, 16th in the form guide. So that tells a story. They're a beatable side. We could definitely get at them and beat them. They got Moreno out as well. We know about that knob. We've got some good players in the team. If they turn up, look at the last time we played Villarreal. We didn't really play well in that game at all, but we came back. Ronaldo scored a fucking 95th minute winner and does what Ronaldo does. Well, he can easily do what Ronaldo does again in the game tomorrow. He's just that classy and that much of a good player. So I'm expecting the sheer quality that we've got to make a big difference, even though Carrick's not exactly got a lot of time to change anything, or maybe even has the ability to change anything in that time, to be fair. So, yeah, just go out there, get at them, play reasonably attacking. I don't want to see us. I personally think what we're going to do is just go there and defend, and try and hit them on the counter. It's going to be more sort of boring, sort of Ollie ball, to be fair, what we've been playing. Because how can you really change that much in the time when you've kept the same coaching staff as well? Oh, my goodness me, it beggars belief. But anyway, I guess we better get into, there's the sort of predictions for the formations and stuff. I guess we better get into predictions for the scoreline. So I'm actually going for a score draw. I don't want to be negative. I just feel like going away at this moment in time with the form that we've been in as well. We are looking awful. Carrick at the wheel. Oh, I know we've got good players, but still, though, there's a level of uncertainty there. Maybe if things just click and we can perform on the day, it would be great. Donny van der Beek, if he starts, might be able to pull the strings, etc. You might just get a decent performance out of us. I'll tell you one thing, though. Wouldn't it just be so unbelievably gastastic, in a way, if you just see United go out there and batter Villarreal 4-0 or something? Like, wouldn't that just make you think, what a bunch of prima donna scumbags trying to get the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer sacked or whatever down in tools, basically? Because it definitely seemed like that towards the end, the amount of running that the lads were doing, just the effort levels, some of the stupid mistakes they were forcing upon themselves almost seemed like they were trying to contribute to it. So, in my opinion, if they go out there and start playing football now, just overnight with Carrick and not much else changing, really, it just goes to show you what a bunch of shitbags they truly are. So, let's hope that we win the game. Of course, I want to win the game, but, in a way, if we go out there and blitz them, some people say, oh, Carrick's done wonders. I won't really think that. I don't think he's had time to do anything to do wonders if we go out there and blitz them. I think it would just be a case of all these players being a bunch of bloody prima donna meltbags, to be fair. And it will wind me up. But there you go. Anyway, that's kind of how I feel about it. I feel like we want to win, obviously, but I think a score draw, 2-2, 1-1, something like that, away from home is going to be the filthy result that we end up with. Guys, get your score predictions in the live chat. Let's hear what you've got to say for yourselves. Connor Matthews says 1-1. Freddie Kelly says 1-1. Eddie says, I think a draw too. Actually, man, we're not feeling optimistic at the moment, are we, as a fan base? It's true, though. It makes sense. We're not playing well. Rushmano says we got 57 likes on the stream. Get in there, my son. Oh, you didn't know? Well, you better tell somebody. Hey, lads and lasses, hit the thumbs up button if you're just joining us. Let's see if we can get 100 big ones on the stream. Also, give it a share on Twitter or somewhere. If you want to, that'd be much appreciated. Lots of 1-1 predictions coming in here. Check this out. I mean, I think that's the popular result. Night Whisper as well. Connor Matthews says 1-1, Maguire own goal. Chris Barker says 1-2 to United. We'd take that, wouldn't we? We'd take any sort of performance, any sort of result would be brilliant just to see us through to the Champions League. That would just be amazing to the latter stages. Now, Carrick's obviously going to be in for a little period of time. Not overseeing it permanently, even if he wins against Chelsea and Villarreal. I really don't think there's any real possibility that he takes over long term. United need to get a permanent manager in. Or an interim manager in. Sorry, I got a bit of Coca-Cola gas there. Or an interim manager. Tizzy Red Devils getting in here with his prediction. He says 1-1. So does Pete Morris. That's the scoreline, isn't it, guys? 1-1. That's where everybody's at the moment. Villarreal are shit in La Liga. Man United are shit in the league. We're both on 7 points. We've both got, a similar situation where we're in sort of in a good position in the Champions League as long as we don't lose this game. So it's got draw written all over it, this one. Carrick will play himself as CDM, says Ed Woodward. You know what, Eddie Woodward, you potato. I would love that if he did that because, he'd probably do just as decent a job, if not better. The technique's not going to have left him. Wouldn't you just love to see that in a way? Michael Carrick starting as CDM. EB90, what's going on? Thinks it's going to be 1-0 or 1-1. 3-1 to Villarreal, says Mason. Fair play. Alec Brandon, what's going on? Hi to you too, mate. What's going on, my friend? Guys, thanks for getting your predictions in here. Really appreciate you all stopping by and getting in here tonight. So prediction-wise, I'm going for a score draw. 1-1 does sound realistic, or I could see a 2-2 because United's defensive record is shocking. Defensively, we're all over the gaff. Let's talk about that human Slabby Maguire for a second, right, guys? I wasn't even going to do this tonight, but he is just an absolute melter, isn't he? He should be dropped, to be fair. Now, he won't be dropped because he's still the captain of the side and he's on big money and all the rest of it. He's a big name, and I don't think Michael Carrick's going to do that to him in the short time that he's here. I don't think he's going to cause that issue and create that friction by doing it in the short time that he's here. Maybe if he was permanent manager, yes, but not in the short time that he's here. Plus, if you look at who's available for us to select tomorrow, obviously there is no Rafael Varane. Varane is the main man for us. He's the biggest loss in the centre-back position for us. He's our best centre-back in the short time he's been here when he's bloody been fit. He's actually been really, really solid. Everyone else around him has always looked pretty mediocre and made mistakes. He's been damn solid, so we miss him, which pretty much means you've got Bailly, Lindelof, and Maguire to choose from. Now, I think out of the three of them, Maguire gets into a centre-back pairing. I'm not saying that he's, whether or not, I don't know what Carrick's going to do, if he's going to select Lindelof or Bailly. He could select Bailly and Lindelof, I suppose, and drop Maguire. I just don't see him doing it. But I bet you that human slab has a bloody decent game. I just got a feeling he's going to have a decent game against Villarreal. Maybe score a fucking header or something. Cup his fucking ear, mate. You know what I mean? Maybe go up to the corner flag and go, like a fucking big human slabby twat. Something like that. I could see him definitely doing something like that. Because have you seen the measure of the man? What he's been doing lately on social media and all the rest of it? I mean, I can't believe it. Posting pictures, smiling on a night out after we fucking lose that game, you get your manager sacked. Unbelievable. But he is available for selection, obviously, because he's only banned for a domestic game in the Premier League. So he can play tomorrow against Villarreal. I think he will play. I think Carrick will play him. But he shouldn't, in my opinion. No way should Maguire play, just based on his recent form, his contribution to the team, how he's let us down recently. Him throwing the captain's armband on the floor like a little petulant child after getting himself sent off needlessly and costing us the game. And just disrespecting the armband, disrespecting the shirt, disrespecting the club, disrespecting the manager, disrespecting the fan base. He's a complete disrespect, that man. So, for me, he should be dropped. I would play Bailly and Lindelof. If I was the manager of Manchester United, I would drop Maguire and I would play Bailly and Lindelof in a back four. But I don't think that he's going to do that. I think he'll select Slabbington Maguire. But what do you think about Slabby Maguire, lads and lasses? Get it in the live chat. Me personally, hashtag Slabby out. Fucking hashtag Slabby out. That's what I would like to say. Guy's been a complete disgrace this season for us. Oh. Hashtag Slabby in or hashtag Slabby out, guys? Jones and Bailly says, Illy United, I like your style. Flabby Maguire says, 40-year-old Virgil. 40-year-old Virgil. Thank you, Rushmano. He says, subscribe to the channel. Yes, guys, if you're new to the channel, we're a Man United channel. We cover all the latest news. Hit that subscribe button if it's your first time here. You might as well. It's free. Man United Hodge, get in there, my son. Big up to yourself as well. He's got a little channel member comment in here, my friend. He says, big up, Piggy. Thank you so much there, Man United Hodge, lad. 2-month member. Let's get a hashtag 2 months and a love heart in there for Hodge. Come on. Thank you so much for being a member of the channel there, Man United Hodge. How you doing there? Carson Gracie says, hashtag Slabby out. Love that. Slabby out, says Johnny. Slabby in, says Arsenal Manic. Well, that makes sense. He says, support your captain. Thing is, you say support your captain. I tried to support my captain. It's not like I've arrived at this decision overnight. This has been a long time coming. This has been an accumulation of disgraceful incidents and poor performances and inconsistencies and bad qualities and just being a complete slab over an extended period of time. This isn't just a short-term thing. This isn't a knee-jerk reaction. Last summer, he's getting fucking fights with people with Mykonos, mate. In the summer, after United losing the fucking Europa League final, he's off out on a bender, getting rat-arsed and fighting police. That's our captain. After that incident, I was like, get it off him now. He was not fit to be the captain before that anyway. I actually wanted him stripped well before the Mykonos incident. If anybody knows or watches this channel for a long time, you'll know that I've been saying for a long time, Slabby Maguire is not captain material for United. And that's sort of just based on his leadership of the team, his leadership at the back. Recently you saw him being a little bit more vocal. He has improved a little bit, but I just don't think he's really a great leader for the team out there on the pitch. He's also not a consistent enough performer himself. For my opinion, the captain of your team needs to be one of your best players. If not the best, but one of the best players, one of the most consistent at the very least. Somebody that really always turns up, really performs, has that good mentality, and isn't just a petulant child chucking armbands on the floor and getting himself sent off really, really poorly. I mean, that's not what it's even all about to me, but it's about the leadership, the quality of the player. He's actually not up to the standard to be a United centre-back, never mind lead the side out. It's almost become a joke. We've kind of got one of the worst players in the side leading us out with the armband. I don't really understand it anymore. So, yes, that's a big mistake that Solskjaer made. Harry Maguire must have loved Solskjaer when he was here. He signed him for 80 mil on a huge amount of money. He gave him the captaincy, let him keep the captaincy regardless of whatever he did, even though off the field, on the field, he probably did not deserve it. allowed him to keep the captaincy and just let him run riot, kept selecting him regardless of really poor performances. Man, I can see, he must have loved having Solskjaer at the squad, to be fair, in the team. Whereas now, when somebody else comes in, he's actually going to have to perform, otherwise he'll be out. That's what I like to think anyway. I hope that a new manager comes in and just says, look, let's be honest now. We need a proper leader, and Ronaldo is a better leader, so we're going to give it to Ronaldo. It makes a lot of sense. Oh, no. 75 likes. Get in there, Rushmore. We've got 75 likes, nearly at 100. Smash the like, guys. Get in there. Thank you for getting all your opinions in here. Keep them coming. Social99 says, I'd honestly take 40 million for him. Yeah, okay. Well, how much do you think Harry Maguire's actually worth in this current market, guys? Get your opinions in the live chat. I think I think that's the top end. I would say 30 to 40 million. You'd be mad to pay any more for the guy based on his performances over the last 2 seasons. Doing it against San Marino and Albania doesn't count. Just because he's selected by Southgate. Hey there, K Slater, man. He says you can tell how pissed off a player Pig is by how high he lifts off the chair. Is that true? Never noticed that myself, my friend. Sphinxu, how you doing? He says, imagine Maguire and Phil Jones in defence. De Gea would say he has COVID. Mate, you know what? You bring up an interesting point. Now, Phil Jones is supposed to have travelled with the squad. I don't think he's in the matchday squad or anything, but he's travelled for a cheeky little holiday, going to hit the beaches up in his pink or a rental pink Lambo or something. But anyway, Phil Jones, in my humble opinion, and this is just my opinion, would he really have done any worse than Maguire this season if you'd have just selected him in every game that he was fit? The answer to that is probably no, because Maguire's made a big error in most games and just looked awful for most of the season. He's had 1 or 2 okay games. I remember Phil Jones having a lot of good games for Manchester United back in the day. I know his confidence is shot. I know he hasn't played for years. He's had injury issues and all the rest of it. He's collected various different gurning championships around the world, and he's lived a life since the last time he played for Manchester United. But still, I don't think there'd have been that much of a drop-off. Maybe he would have been a little bit worse, but it's not. What the point I'm making is, he's just a big Phil Jones in disguise. We've got 2 Phil Joneses at the club now, and it's a shame. Think about all the time that Phil Jones has been here. He's been here since Fergie. He's been here with Moyes, Mourinho, Louis van Gaal, and of course, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's been here that whole time. And playing now, Maguire's probably going to be a similar sort of player, because we've talked about there's lots of people getting their valuations in there for him, and I agree with most of them, 30, 40 million. But I would say that he's a player that not many people are going to want. So unless you went, maybe, Brendan Rodgers, Leicester City, if you did offload him for 35 mil, maybe they would be interested. I can understand that. But realistically, he's almost on so much money. He's almost so bad of a player. We've priced him out the market and paid so much money for him. He's almost really hard to sell, just like Phil Jones. He's on such a big contract. Like, nobody sees value in signing Phil Jones, even for basically 0. So that's the problem with Phil Jones, and he doesn't see value leaving his contract because he's on a cushy deal. In my opinion, Maguire's not United standard, and we're stuck with the guy for a good while now. Man United Hodge, mate, getting in here with a $5 Aussie super chat. Thank you very much, Hodge. He says, also, bro, I think we need to play Lindelof and Bailly to get them prepared for Chelsea. Drop that pathetic excuse of a human slab against Villarreal. Yes, Man United Hodge, mate. Hashtag drop Slabby. I agree, Man United Hodge, my friend. I mean, this is what it's all about. He is not up to the standard. He doesn't deserve it based on recent performances. He let the team down in the last game. He let the management down in the last game. He let everybody down in the last game. So why should he be selected in this one? He shouldn't is the answer. But he will. He probably will be, because Carrick, etc., they probably don't want to even have that conversation right now while he's only here for a couple of days. Why even bother? Why ruffle all the feathers? But he probably should drop Maguire. I definitely would. Thank you, Man United Hodge, for getting in here with your super chat, mate. 180k a week for Slabby Maguire, says Conor Mack. It's a disgrace, isn't it? It actually sickens me. I mean, footballers' wages, man, I understand the market. Yeah, that's it. Supply and demand. The market sets the value. I totally get it, how it works, and don't hate the player, hate the game. But you know what really pisses me off more than a footballer who earns hundreds of thousands of pounds a week is a footballer who earns hundreds of thousands of pounds a week and is shit and doesn't deserve it. That's what pisses me off. AKA Alexis Sanchez, Slabby Maguire. These sorts of guys. Billy says, to think the guys who gave Phil Jones a new contract are having an interim manager to then appoint an interim manager. Even non-league teams don't have interim. Oh, tell me about it, my friend. Tell me about it. It's actually shambolic. how this club is run and the hierarchy here. We know that. Well, I'm sick of talking about it, but the Glazers, the board, you know, you've got people like Arnold, Woodward. They're all shit. They're all actually useless at their jobs, to be fair. It's clear, because if they were better, then they'd have got a Goliath like Manchester United to be competitive over the last 10 years. They'd have been able to, you know, dispatch the likes of City, Liverpool, Chelsea, because United were in a really good position just a decade ago, and they clearly run us into the fucking ground. Anyway, right, okay. Right, I've got more stuff to talk about here, guys. I have got more stuff to talk about here, so I'm going to get into it now. But thank you, everyone, for getting in here with your predictions and selections and all the rest of it. We're going to have a big Q&A at the end as well, so make sure you do stick around. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. You only need to be subscribed for 1 minute to have a chat in the live chat. So hit the sub if you're new, if you want to get involved. Also, we've got a bit of information coming through here, guys, you know, about obviously the management stuff. I might as well talk about it here while I'm on here with you guys. So you know, the preview of the game, we'll get back into it in a little bit, but a few interim managers are linked, of course. Manchester Evening News reporting this evening that Steve Bruce is tipped for Manchester United interim role after Ole Gunnar Solskjaer sacking you. What? You see, this is it, mate. This is it. This is Glazeronomics for you. This is looking our board. Scapegoat Ollie, to be fair. And I think that maybe the decision was the right decision to make, but you might as well wait until somebody proper is available to take over then. But get rid of Ollie and then just go and get a northeast older version of Ollie. You know, who, let's be honest, Ollie did okay last couple of seasons, but Steve Bruce is all he's done really over the last, you know, decade or two, you know, since retiring as a player and being a manager, is he's always been a decent sort of a manager. He's managed a lot of different teams. He's failed at a bunch of different teams, lower teams as well. We're not talking about top teams, lower teams. He's struggled here and there. He's gone here for a couple of seasons, gone there for a couple of seasons, gone here for half a season, gone there. You know, he's got a CV that is experienced for, you know, the very least. He's experienced, and he's got that Manchester United link, and he's also a really nice guy. Like, I love Steve Bruce. He's a really nice guy. He's a Man United legend himself. He is a great dude. But as a manager, does he bring anything extra to the table than what we had before? I personally think no. Maybe you could argue, well, if he had all these players, all these great talents at his disposal, maybe you would just see him be able to actually do some really good stuff with Manchester United. But there's no proof in the pudding there from what he's done so far that he would be the right man for United. So I've got nothing against Steve Bruce, but I don't want Bruce to be an interim manager until the end of the season. We might as well have just stuck with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer if that's the case. So, yeah, I don't understand it. I mean, we're sacked off by Newcastle United, for Pete's sake, last month. Sacked off by Newcastle. And that's who we're going to put in charge for the season, is it? It's bizarre. Are we still coming through, guys? Hang on a second. I'm not sure if I'm still coming through. Let me know if I'm still coming through. Smash a 1 in the live chat if I am. My feed is just given up on me. Yes, I am, says Connor Matthews. Okay, then. Okay, thank you, guys. Sorry, I don't know. My feed just gave up on me there. Weird stuff. That's good. Anyway, I'll have to read the chat over here then. So, thank you very much, guys. I appreciate you. Thank you very, very much. Nice one. By the way, Mark Stan, Johnny M, Man United Hodge, Night Whisper, The Vooty, Marv Hunter, Adfilling Skills, Finsbury, everyone, thank you very much for getting in here and being in here for the stream today. A lot of you in here, 173 legends previewing the game. Michael Carrick is going to take over tomorrow. Anyway, let's get back to Steve Bruce. Sorry, I got distracted because the video sharted it. So Steve Bruce in or Steve Bruce no? What do you think, guys? It's got to be a no from me. We need something more inspirational than that. Might as well have just stuck with Ollie if that was to be the case. Like I say, we should go out there and get, if to be fair, you know, Pochettino, as much as I don't really think he's top tier and is the definite right man to take us to the next step, as much as I don't think that, out of who we've got available right now and who we're talking about and all these interims and all the rest of it, Pochettino sounds fucking good compared to a lot of the people that we're discussing, in all honesty. He just does, doesn't he? Pochettino, you know, his Spurs side played pretty decent stuff. I mean, his style of management is decent also. So let's have a look at this. You know, this is a good tweet from United Muppeteers on Twitter, and it's got a stat here from Sky, basically, which just shows the highest distance per game in different Premier League seasons covered. And so, you know, we've been looking at United's team recently and how poor they've been at just covering ground, running. covering distance in the games. The stats don't lie. They're really low down. They're really poor. They're so much worse than all the top sides. And why is that? I mean, we need somebody in there who's going to just crack the whip and get them fucking running and get them working super hard. And if you look at this highest distance per game stat here throughout the seasons here, you can see, at Southampton, at Pochettino, the team that had the highest distance per game was Southampton with Pochettino as manager. Then he's gone to Spurs, and then 3 years out of 4, his Tottenham side are the team that's covering the most distance per game on average, which means, that you can't really get away from the fact that, he's obviously that type of coach. He's obviously a coach that's going to get your team working super hard, because the stats don't lie there, really. That is quite impressive, not only at Southampton, not only at Spurs too. So I think that's exactly what United need right now, to be fair, is somebody that's going to get this team to have a rocket up their arse, basically. Put a fucking rocket up their arse and get them bloody working for each other and working as a team. So that is interesting. Listen, as far as Poch goes, like I say, if there was somebody better available, if there was a Klopp type before he's gone to Liverpool, if there was a Pep type before he's gone to City, I would want something like that. Or, if there was a Nagelsmann before he's gone to Bayern that we could maybe get, or, Zidane, if he was very interested or keen on the job, which it seems like he's not, I would say go get him. But because there's a lot of managers that are linked, none of which are really ticking all the boxes, Pochettino may just be the best of a pretty bang average bunch. That's the point I'm making. So, Poch, experience in the Prem with Spurs, done okay, Champions League finals, all ended in tears. Ollie beat him. It's not amazing, but stylistically he's decent. He'd have a good squad there and all the rest of it. So, Josh Lee says Poch is the one for plenty of dude. Ronaldo won't fit into Poch, says S Van B. I mean, surely Ronaldo's got to fit into pretty much any team with any manager. If I was a manager going into any team and they had Ronaldo, I'd be pretty happy with him to stay and be my striker for this year. Because look at how good he still is. He's still performing to a very high standard. He's still going to score you a lot of goals. So quite interesting there anyway. Quite interesting statistics about Pochettino's teams in the Premier League, guys. Can't deny that fact. Hey, we're closing in on 100 likes. Everyone, thank you very much for joining. Get your thoughts in throughout as well. I want to hear all your opinions on the game and who you think we should have as next manager. But Steve Bruce tipped to take over. Interesting stats there about Poch. Eric Ten Hag will stay at Ajax until the end of the season, despite interest from MUFC. We've got a decent source to say that he's not going anywhere there. Manchester United are currently remaining focused on an interim manager, is what we also understand as well. And this is also a bit of information that's come out from La Parisienne in France, which just says that Zidane would be PSG's priority if Pochettino leaves. All options of the Argentine's future are on the table. People think this might be a little bit strange or out of the blue for this to happen mid-season, because I did. I think it makes more sense for Poch to come in the summer after he's had a year there, maybe win the leagues, have a go at the Champions League there with this awesome Galactico team that he's got, and then come in the summer. That makes sense. But I wouldn't rule it out, because if you look at what they did last time out with Tuchel, where they literally got rid of him mid-season and got Pochettino in, it's a similar sort of pattern you could see repeating. As long as Zidane is there in the shadows, ready to come in immediately, then it can happen. Oh, excuse me, guys. Right, okay. So, yes, Zidane is PSG's priority should Mauricio Pochettino leave for Manchester United. That is what we currently understand. Of course, that is what's being widely reported as well. Whether or not he'd want the job, that is a big question. It seems like he doesn't want the Manchester United job, from what we've heard also. So, guys, there you go. Pochettino is the favourite for Man United's job. It looks like he's going to be the one. Whether or not it's now, I personally think it will probably be in that break over December and January when the French League One breaks up for a couple of weeks. Probably be done there when Pochettino's spending Christmas with his family in the UK. His wife and kid are in the UK. So it kind of makes sense for Pochettino to come back to the UK soon. So if the offer's right, it's a big challenge here at Manchester United as well compared to League One. League One's just a farmers' league. Then again, he has an amazing team capable of doing bits in Champions Leagues and things like that. It is a dream team he's got over there. But at the same time, it's kind of boring, man. It's boring. It's Lewis Hamilton taking his F1 car down to the fucking Dodgems and rinsing past all the little kids thinking he's looking Billy Big Bollocks, basically. That's all it is. Anyway, right, I'm going to get into the live chat now, lads and lasses. So just for the preview, if you're just getting in here, we've done a little bit of a preview for the game. Manchester United versus Villarreal tomorrow. Carrick's first game in charge. I personally think he'll set up with this formation, a 4-2-3-1 with these players. Donny van de Beek's got to start, doesn't he? Hashtag free Donny. He was freed in the second half last time out, was our best player pretty much. Scored the goal, created a match-winning chance as well, the great through ball, and was generally solid. So he's got to play. Everyone else, I think, pretty much reasonably picks themselves if you're going to go with this formation. Again, we could see a different formation from Carrick, one of the ones that we've seen recently under Solskjaer, or something like this with the 5-3-2 formation would make a bit of sense as well. Luke Shaw is probably out. He's a doubt. Varane's injured. Pogba's injured. Mason Greenwood's got COVID-19, so he's not available for selection. So this is the current set of players that are most likely to play. Could be Martial, could be Rashford. You know, is Sancho going to play? If it's in this formation, Sancho probably won't play. If it's this formation, Sancho probably will play, etc. So there's a couple of maybes, but I think it'll be a 4-2-3-1, and it'll be something like this. Arsenal Manic says, this is not trolling, it's honest. Brendan Rodgers will be a fantastic choice. Pochettino wouldn't be bad either, but go with Brendan. Fair enough. I mean, there's a few people that think Brendan Rodgers. I can't understand that, mate. It doesn't really make much sense apart from, yeah, he has won an FA Cup and won some Scottish stuff. But other than that, he's kind of just done mediocre with Leicester City, even in the last couple of seasons. People go on about a style, and yeah, they do play nice, and Vardy scores goals, and they've been a decent team, but they've still finished outside the top four. I think that's a failure for a big club, you know, who's won the Premier League more recently than Manchester United have, and still have a very good squad themselves. You know, people go on about, oh, they don't have a good enough squad compared to United. Okay, well, we'd have both their midfielders, wouldn't we? And Didi and Tielemans, we'd snap them off them in a fucking second, wouldn't we? What about Vardy as a goal scorer? He's not exactly bloody awful, is he? They got a good team. And, you know, they haven't performed fantastically well. So I've got no evidence that Brendan Rodgers would be a top-tier manager for Manchester United at all. Is this out of focus, guys? I feel like it's out of... Oh, no. Right. Okay, that's better. Right. Okay, anyway. Billy, he says Ten Hag would take 2 seasons to get his squad. He plays sweeper keeper and a ball-playing centre-back who takes the ball out from the back. Maybe switch De Gea for Henderson and get Slabby as a ball-playing centre-back. Ooh, Billy! I mean, Slabby is good on the ball and he can distribute it. That has to be said. He's got that range of passing about him. That is a good positive about Slabby Maguire. But overall, I just want to see him drop from the team. Weird Stuff says Brendan is a risk. Poch is a much better choice. I like your style, Weird Stuff. Yeah, out of the two of them, it's not even close to me. If I had to pick between Pochettino and Brendan Rodgers, then it was 100% Pochettino all day. Johnny M says, after the Chelsea score, Rodgers a no-no. Exactly, mate. Did you see that performance? I watched a lot of that game, and Chelsea just absolutely battered them, man. That's not the sort of football that I want to see at Manchester United. So Brendan Rodgers, see you later on, son. Absolutely. 40-year-old Virgil says, Pigs, sack Ollie and keep coaches, or sack coaches and keep Ollie. Well, I mean, now you mention it, maybe it would have been better off to keep Ollie and sack the coaches. Now you bloody mention it. You know, that would have been an interesting point, you know, to try, because all sacking Solskjaer and keeping the coaches does short term is, you know, it doesn't really change much in my opinion. Is all. It's just it's more symbolic than anything else. It's like the fan base is so uneasy. You know, maybe the stock price is being affected by Solskjaer still being the coach, stuff like that. This is why they've done it, obviously. Not because there's the right candidate available. That's why we're talking about a temporary manager for an interim manager, for a permanent manager coming in the summer, because the right guy just actually isn't available. So they just sort of cut the nose off to spite their face like a bunch of absolute glazer milk bags. Fact, says Adfling Skills. Thank you. Manny Slew Flacky, get in there. He says someone needs to come in and cleanse the team of their gashtastic players. Yes, we need an exorcist in there, don't we? Maybe we could get Roy Keane to put on like a vicar's outfit and go in there and say, demons, get the demons out of you. You know, I don't know. Roy Keane definitely needs to go in there, though, throwing punches, though. I say he could do an exorcism. You know, I think Roy Keane would do a great exorcism. I agree, Manny Snooflacky. Hey, George G's in here with a highlighted member comment, George. Thank you for being a member for 2 months of the Bacon and Egg Brigade. Get in there, George. Let's get a cheeky little saw emoji in there for him. He says, Poch did a great job at Spurs, took them to a title race, and almost won them the UCL, and that's amazing for Spurs' level. You are right. I mean, Spurs won a trophy in 2008. It was the League Cup. That is Spurs. So... So to be fair to you, you're right. To get them to a Champions League final is a very big achievement. To have them up competitive, not for the league, but competitive for the top 4 places all the time, is pretty good. They played nice football. You know, those Spurs teams, the Son Heung-min, Harry Kane combination, all the rest of it. Very nice side to watch, easy on the eye. They weren't the most effective in the sense of they didn't win anything. They didn't get the points necessary, but they did have a good cup run. Hey, look, there's some positives there. Look, I think stylistically, out of some of the choice managers we got, he is a good option because he probably will get us playing an attractive sort of football, you know, and an attacking style, which is what we want as United fans. Batman Night fan says, Poch in. I'm basically trying to talk myself into it. That's what it seems like right now because, you know, he's not my ideal candidate, guys. It's just more the fact that who's available right now. I think Poch is a good coach, and I think that he's proven in the Prem to a degree, and his Spurs side were pretty good, and maybe with the players we got United, he could do a really good job. So he's like the best of the bunch. Oh dear, guys, I've got a sore throat this evening. Bottlerinho out, says Italy United. Right then. Okay, guys. So yes, that's basically it. If you're getting in here for the preview, that's the preview. We're going to get into the live chat now, see what you legends have got to say for yourselves about anything we've discussed in this video in regards to the lineup, who we got coming in, etc., who you want to see as interim, who you want to see as the next manager. Do have your say. So we have a source here to say that Man United first contacts have started with Pochettino entourage. We also have a source that says that, you know, PSG continue sort of private talks with Zidane, exclusively after his potential, interest in going there. So, and obviously Pochettino's sort of interest in leaving. So because of that, there's conversations that are being going on behind closed doors, and maybe you'll see a bit of movement sooner rather than later. I hope so. I hope if we are going to get somebody, I hope it is out of the current people that's available. I guess it's good that it be Poch rather than, say, Brendan Rodgers, you know, or you know, even like Ten Hag, who is a good coach, but maybe a long-term, you know, philosophy is not managed in the Premier League. There's some question marks there. Huge club like United is different. There's some question marks there. So, out of the ones who are available, I just hope that if they're going to get Poch, they don't wait until the bloody summer to do it. I hope that they do just pay the money, compensate PSG, go and get Poch, get him in, and stop fanning around. Carrick is not the man to take us forward for the long term. He's just overseeing it until we can get an interim in, apparently. But more than likely what will happen, knowing our board and how bloody incompetent they are, is Woodward will probably bloody appoint himself as the next fucking interim manager. No, I'm joking. But what he will do is he'll probably extend his stay at the club to oversee all this bloody period which he's talked about. He's supposed to be leaving this man soon, but there's some rumours that he might stay. But Ed Woodward also will, and the rest of the guys in charge, Arnold and the rest of them, what they'll probably do is fanny around, get an interim manager in, Steve Bruce or somebody just for the bants until they can actually get Poch in, maybe in Jan or maybe in this summer. So it's really quite a weird situation to be in, guys, to have a temporary manager for an interim manager for a permanent manager. What a way to go about it. What a gash-run club. Come on, let's be honest now. You know, we're all Man United fans. We love this club. We want to see the club do well. We want to see the team play well. But you can't get away from it. It's just a stinker of a run club. Honestly, it's terrible. Just why would they even think this is a good idea right now to sack Solskjaer, keep the coaching staff, appoint Carrick, who's part of the problem, and just have him in charge temporarily until they can get somebody? I don't really see why they've done it this way. It's really quite stupid. You know, it's just we've weakened ourselves for a couple of games, basically. That's how I see it. And we've still got massive question marks about who to actually go and get. Fucking shocking, isn't it? Big God Bob says, fanny around, sounds like Giggs is the man for the job. Give it Giggsy to end of the season. Right, guys, Q&A time. Let's be having you. Where are you? Thank you, everyone, for joining us. There's the preview of the news. Get your thoughts in. Let's be having you. Hit the like button and share your thoughts with everybody in this community. Everybody's entitled to their say, even if you're like a City scummer or a Liverpool meltbag. As long as you're respectful and polite to a degree, you can have your say on this channel. Hey there, Lynette Giggs. How you doing? Dean Nelson says, Carrick's at the wheel. Give him a lifetime contract. Love you, Pigman. Proper quality. Thank you, Dean Nelson. I mean, listen, we don't want Carrick long term. It's just a temporary thing, man. He's like I say, he's a substitute teacher at school. He's really nice. Comes in, maybe he's wearing like a really colourful jumper, woolly jumper, colourful one, all the colours of the rainbow on it. He's got a fucking harmonica out. He plays a fucking harmonica, mate. That's the sort of substitute teacher we got, right, guys? Who wants to hear a story about when I was in the Serengeti and I got chased by a whole fucking hive of bees while I play the fucking harmonica? You know what I mean? That's Michael Carrick's like just a substitute teacher, basically, until somebody comes in who's actually who's actually got the ability to take us forward and progress us. Which, to be fair, Pochettino, is a project manager. You saw what he did at Southampton. You saw what he did at Spurs. He's a manager that can oversee a project and improve and build over years. Now, it all came tumbling down at Spurs in the end. In hindsight, Daniel Levy really should have stuck with Pochettino. In my opinion, they should have showed a bit more faith in him at that time. Because all they did is they played the managerial merry-go-round. They got Jose Mourinho from Manchester United, who just failed. What did he do at Spurs? Well, he failed too. And they had to sack him off. They got Nuno, and he's failed. They sacked him off. They'd have probably just been better off sticking with Pochettino. But now we're ending up with their reject. They had our reject. Now we're ending up with their reject. So I'll never be happy about ending up with Spurs' reject, to be honest. Especially one that's never won any trophies that are meaningful to me. So, he might have won something in the Mickey Mouse French League. But, he's not a proven manager of winning things. So, you never convinced me he's the ideal candidate for the job. All I'm saying is he is the best of the bad bunch right now. Anyway, Johnny says Mourinho's management style is outdated. I agree. He's somewhat of a dinosaur in this modern era, isn't he? Vincent Bullock says substitute teacher sounds like the School of Rock. Exactly. There you go. It's Jack Black in the School of Rock coming in, mate, playing the guitar and just arsing around. They need to just move in this week, says Night Whisper. Hey there, Megadeth Bangkok. What's going on? Batman Night Fan says Poch did very well with less money. That is a great point you've made, Batman Night Fan. You can't really compare the two because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has had hundreds of millions of pounds to spend. Pochettino, in the whole time he was there, I think he only spent about 72 million or something ridiculously low like that. Actually, it's more than that, but he really didn't spend that much because, think about the big side. It was only really in Poch's last season before he got sacked that they really invested. I remember them spending a lot of money on players like, was it Lo Celso, that summer when they brought a bunch of players in. And they spent a lot. But before that, they really didn't spend very much money ever. So that's a fair point. He did it on pretty much more or less a shoestring budget compared to what Solskjaer had. That is a fair point, man. It's a fair point. The manner in which the Glazers purchased the club should be illegal. Spot on, Social 99, to buy it with debt money and lumber us in that position to have to commit to making all these interest payments to the point where 16 years later, we're still in over £400 million worth of debt. Should never have been allowed. You're absolutely spot on. What a disgrace. What a disgrace. Mancini for the job, says Lou Martial. Thank you, Dean Nelson, lad. Case Slater says, Pig, what's your best case scenario for Carrick's games and what's the worst case scenario? Great question, Case Slater 23. So my best case scenario for his games are, we go out tomorrow, he sets us up in a different formation, like something actually different with a different style. Like maybe he just goes, right, let's play 4-3-3 with Donny at the base and just do something like attack the shit out of them. Just go away from home and do everything, do something that everybody's not expecting. Like, I expect us to go there and play defensive and play a similar sort of fashion how we've been doing, to be fair. If he does something that's not expected, like go there 4-3-3 and just go guns blazing at them, something crazy like that, then that's best case scenario. We get some entertaining football, we get some quality, we get some attacking displays. That's the best case. And the best case against Chelsea is getting some sort of a result, man. I mean, either if you do that in a very ugly fashion or a very positive attacking fashion, doesn't really matter. Just the best case scenario is getting some sort of result in these two games to the point where we could still be in contention. Because the worst case scenario is we lose both of those games, we're hanging on a thread in the Champions League, and we're also completely out of the Champions, the race to be champion of the Premier League. Because, 15 points behind Chelsea is too much for anyone. And, at this stage, we're almost a third way through the season. In fact, we are a third way through the season. So That would be worst case really. You lose the Villarreal game, you lose the Chelsea game. He goes with the same old guff sort of tactics. He selects McTominay and Fred in the centre of the park. That, you know it. Captain Slavy gets the captain's armband. He selects McFred. That's the worst case scenario, and we lose in those games. Best case, he tries something different. He goes progressive. Donny pulls the strings. Ronaldo gets the hat-trick. We smash him up in an attacking fashion. That's best case scenario, but I don't think it will happen. 124 likes, says Rushmono. Get in there, my son. We're on our way to 150. McSauce ain't good enough, says Yeo for Nasal. No, exactly. He's not. He's actually been proven guff over the last 2 seasons. He's basically a big Scottish midfield version of Slabby Maguire, really, who doesn't get as noticed or as exposed as much because he's not the one playing at centre-back. But I tell you what, for his role and what he does in the side, he's just as bloody bang average. He is. And I like Scott McTominay for the way he goes about it, but I don't like him for his actual quality. I was so impressed. There's a couple of moments in the game that impressed me about Donny in particular the last game. Obviously the goal, his movement, just getting the space, but that's just, a little bit of instinct there. But the actual pass that he saved them open with, where Ronaldo got one-on-one and should have scored, just that vision there. You rarely see that sort of stuff from McTominay and Fred and those sorts of guys. Donny is a creative player. He always wants to play that forward pass. If it's on, he'll play that side pass, and he's got the ability to play it and the technique to do it. That's why I like. Another thing that I liked about it was, there was a moment where the ball's come into Donny, and he's in the box, he's in their box, and he's got 2 opposition players closing him down, and the ball comes into him, he's got half a second to react. Now, I know for a fact, if Scott McTominay was in that position, he would have hoofed it right at the defender, because that's all he ever does. That's all I ever see. I've never known a player more incapable of getting half a yard or shielding a ball and playing a pass than Scott McTominay. He takes it forward. There's a player, he always shoots at a player, basically. The player's in front of him, and he just goes, I'm going to fucking shoot. But the player always blocks it because he never gets any space or half yard or anything. Donny opened up his body and just very, very instinctually just passed it to his right to Ronaldo. Now, Ronaldo was offside, and it was, it was definitely, definitely offside. But either way, you're going to lose the ball. You're going to use the chance. Maybe Ronaldo wasn't offside. Donny didn't shoot, basically. McTominay would have just smashed it right hand. He's not got the intelligence or the vision that a creative player like Donny has, is what I'm saying. Donny needs to be unleashed. He needs to be freed in this game. And I think if we do that, then we've got a good chance in the game because he is a creative player. But there you go. McSauce isn't good enough. Yeah, I agree, Yo for Nasal here. Here's a fresh idea. Start McFred, says Megadeth. Billy says Poch had a more rounded team at Spurs and won nothing, says Billy. Yeah, what a great point. He did win nothing. He did get sacked off in the end. He did have good players, Son and Kane, and he had a really good squad, man. Arguably world-class. They arguably had a good few world-class players in there, especially like with centre-backs like, Vertonghen and Lloris and people like this at the time, all candidates for being really top tier. You got Alderweireld and all the rest of it. Some good players there, man, that have been linked to United in the past that United could have done with, and a lot of others that I'm not mentioning. But they've had a lot of good players, and he didn't actually win anything with them. So that is a good point. Very good point, sir. Very, very good point. The Vutinator says, Primo, if we beat Chavsky, then yes. If not, then a double will do. United is not good for my mental health, says Tonk Nash. I feel ya. The treble's still on, says Primot. Bloody hell. Technically, the treble is still on. We're still just about in with the touch and distance of the league leaders. If we went on a run and won the next 6 or 7 games, we'd be right back up there. That's a big if, though. And we're still in the Champions League. We're obviously top of the group right now, sharing points, obviously, but we are okay. And we're still in the FA Cup. So you're absolutely right. We are still on for the treble right now. Come on, treble incoming. Could you imagine if it was just like one of those seasons, though? Like, what happened last season with Tuchel? He obviously didn't work out well at PSG. Chelsea have come and got him after Frank Lampard melted. Frank Lampard was really doing quite poorly with Chelsea at the time. In fact, you could probably make some quite clear comparisons to Lampard and Solskjaer this season and that season. Like, there was some clear comparison with just how things were going. The team wasn't quite melding properly. It was a bit of a nightmare. Then Tuchel's come in from a failing team. Well, not a failing team, but obviously it's just ended in tears there or whatever. I can't remember quite what happened, but obviously they didn't win the league that season. Pochettino was there by then, but the damage, I'm guessing, was done, which is why they've parted ways. So Tuchel goes into Chelsea and they win the Champions League. And now look at them. Now they're springboarded up there. So Poch, I hope he has that sort of impact. I personally don't think that he will. But if he did come in, let's hope he has that sort of an impact and we could possibly go that quickly and turn it around and just go instantly into being a great team. Because we have got a lot of the personnel to do it. If Varane's fit, you know, you can choose Bailly, Lindelof. You don't have to choose Slabby Maguire next to him, but you've got a decent centre-backs there. Wan-Bissaka's very solid defensively. Luke Shaw, on his day and last season, was brilliant. Right now, he's a bloody pudding. He's a fucking pudding. But you got some good options there. And then Bruno, Pogba, you know, Ronaldo, Cavani, Rashford, Martial, Sancho, all the rest of it. There's some fantastic players here to choose from. So anybody with a bit of proper managerial acumen who can instantly come in and get us playing quite quickly a certain way would have a lot of joy with this team because there's so many good players in there. If you feed Cristiano Ronaldo, he will score. Pretty much all you have to do. Sheikh, what's going on there, Sheikh Osama? He says, Harry Maguire needs to be released. He's a liability. Totally agree, mate. Hashtag Slabby out. Batman Knife Fan says, I'd take Poch over Rodgers every day of the week and twice on Sunday, mate. Brendan Rodgers, a.k.a. Brenda Todgers. Do one, lad. I swear I saw a picture of Brenda in a dress on the inside of a phone box the other day. Amit Kumar says Villarreal win. Oh, I don't know about that, Amit Kumar. Let's get your score predictions in there, guys. My score prediction for the game, a score draw. I'll say 1-1, possibly 2-2. I think the United are just defensively melters. Slabby Maguire is poor. But what I will say is Villarreal are also a bit of a shit show right now. Emery's not doing great. They've won the last couple, I think, in the Champions League, though, haven't they? Apart from that United one, right? But against opposition in La Liga, they've been really quite poor. 2-2 says Josh Lee, 1-1 says Night Whisper, 1-1 says Tonk Nash. Yeah, everybody says 1-1. I asked this earlier, I don't know why I asked it again, but 1-1. Okay, we've got another update here. Thank you very much, Mushmano, for getting in here with an update, sir. Just in regards to Jesse Lingard here. Maybe Jesse Lingard's hoping for a chance following Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's exit. So this is reported that Jesse Lingard is hoping for an opportunity at United, you know, because we do know Jesse Lingard loves Man United. That's the thing. If the new manager came in and wanted a bit of Jesse Lingard action, maybe they'd give him a chance. This is what's going to be interesting because it depends what the new manager likes and who he rates and who actually performs for him, because that's how it works. People will have favourites and they'll have sort of preordained opinions of these players before they go in there without ever having coached them. I would. If you were going in, wouldn't you just go, well, Slabby, you know, I know all about him. I would. Phil Jones, yeah. Fred, I sort of know. You know, you've been watching. Now, you might be able to change that. You might be able to change their role in the team to the point where they do it well, though. But, again, some players are going to have to fall by the wayside, and there's going to be new players that come in as well at some point. But even without the new players, some players will be dropped. Jesse Lingard is probably, you know, reasonably happy about maybe having a chance here because Solskjaer wasn't selecting him. Rightfully so, though, in my opinion. Get out, Jesse Lingard. Hey, I like Jesse. He's a nice lad. He's United lad. He's obviously from the academy. He is a nice guy. Get out the club. It's time to be sold, I think. We should have sold him in the summer, really, and cashed in. We bottled it. He's not good enough standard for United, is he? As a backup player, yes, okay, but do you pay backup players over 6 figures a week to go, meow, beans? I don't think you do you? You know, I would love a tin of Lingard's baked beans, though. I tell you, I really would. I really hope that he goes into the baked bean industry afterwards. And maybe maybe a little combination with Donny van der Beek, actually. I'm thinking I can see this. Jesse Lingard's baked beans. Lingard's Van der Baked beans. Actually, it just doesn't work. I think it's going to have to be Lingard's beans versus Van der Baked beans. We'll see who wins that battle. It'll be like Pepsi and Coca-Cola all over again. Anyway, what am I talking about? Oh, this is like you're watching Being John Malkovich right now or something. The inner workings of my brain. Hey, anyway, listen. Zayn Miasi gets in there, you legend. Thank you very much for getting in here, dude. With the Maraca shaking super sticker. Come on, let's get in there. Zayn Miasi, thank you very much for getting in here, bro. Yes, so are you going to tune in tomorrow, Zayn Miasi? So, Zayn Miasi, for anybody that doesn't know, we have got a cheeky little bet in place. And I'm very nervous about this bet now. I shouldn't be. I wasn't nervous about it a few weeks ago, but based on how things have gone since then, I'm very nervous about it. We have a bet on, will Manchester United get out of the Champions League group? Will we progress? And if we don't progress, I lose the bet. And if we do progress, I win the bet. And, I'm shitting my pants. The Cake and with a £2 super chat lad says, get those rotten players out my club now. Come on, the Cake Cadet. So there are a few rotten teabaggers at the club, aren't there? Let's be honest now. Slabbington Maguire's an absolute farce. I mean, Victor Dwindloff's not really a United standard player, God bless him. Luke Shaw has been a massive letdown this season. Sort your bloody life out, you human pudding. Then you've also got people like McFred, who both of them are just nowhere near the standard. Pogba is a huge liability and doesn't perform anywhere near to the standard either. There's a bunch of underperforming meltbags, isn't there? I agree, Kate Cadet. Not all of them. There's a lot of good players in the team. There's a lot of camaraderie as well. I like players like Rashford. I like Sancho, this new signing we've got. I like Ronaldo, of course. Greenwood, there's a lot of good lads, I think, that will be good for us for now and the future. But I also do think there's still a few rotten apples in there, Kate Cadet. I mean, it's easy to blame it on, easy to say that, but it's definitely true. Not today, Flying Pig United Fan 67. You know what? I've been a little bit under the weather over the last few days, and we've done a lot of videos and stuff, and I'm just a bit under the weather. I'm actually going to, after this video, a bit later on when we finish, I'm going to stay on until about 11 p.m, I think, though. We'll just have a bit of a chat and chill this evening with you legends for a bit. But I'm just going to stay on for a bit, but I'm going to rest up this evening. I'm not actually going to play any FIFA or any gaming streams or anything. I was going to rest my vocal cords because I'm starting to sound like Sean Dyche after a bender and smoking about 40 ciggies. So I definitely need to rest up the old vocal cords. Otherwise, it's just going to give up on me. I'm going to turn into a permanent Sean Dyche. Swedish Chelsea fan, can't wait for us to thrash you at the weekend. So Swedish Chelsea fan, yeah, bring it. I'm actually worried about that game. Can't lie, but I guess we've got nothing to lose right now. Well, we do have, so we've got games to lose. But you know what I mean? Like, Carrick's going in there in that game. Is he really expected to beat Chelsea? Maybe we'll just turn up and lash him. Who knows? Zayn Miyasi with an 8.99 super sticker. Another one. Let's get a super chat emoji in there for Zayn. Thank you so much, Zayn Miyasi, for another super sticker. He says thank you. Don't thank me, Zayn. Don't thank me, mate. I don't want your thanks, Zayn Miyasi. What are you thanking me for, Zayn Miyasi, lad? It's me who should be thanking you, sir, when I win that bet, lad. You know what I'm saying? Not tonight, Social 99, actually. I'm going to rest it up tonight. Mr. NLWT getting that slabby Maguire emoji in there. Love that. The Easter Island head himself. Man, I can't stand that guy. Kate Cadet says a new manager may come in, but nothing will ever change until these players fuck off, says the Kate Cadet. Maybe, but come on, though. Come on, though, mate. I don't know about that. There's different drivers, isn't there? If you're let's use F1 as an analogy. I like to do that. So you've got a McLaren car. It's the same car. But if you put fucking spotty little twat down the road, Jake, in charge of the car and get him to drive it round, he's not going to drive it round as well as fucking Michael Schumacher in his heyday, or fucking Lewis Hamilton. Or you do need a good driver, mate. And the better driver you have, no matter what vehicle you've got to deal with, whatever parts and whatever components are in that car, the better driver you've got, you're going to be able to get more out of it. That's just the way it goes, man. So, there's better cars. Like, of course, you want the better car that you can have. You don't want a shitty little broken down Volkswagen Beetle or a fucking transit van, which is basically what Slabby Maguire is. Slabby Maguire's like one of those old fucking rusted out, bottomless fucking transit vans from the early 2000s or whatever that's done 300,000 miles and it's just completely fucking pedal dashed. You know what I mean? That is what Slabby Maguire is in terms of a vehicle. But where was I going with this? But basically, yeah, the better driver you have, obviously, he can get the most out of the vehicle, man. The vehicle is the team and the players. And if we have a really good manager, surely he can get more out of this team. Fact is, you can't get away from the fact that you got players like Ronaldo, Bruno, Shaw, who was great last season, and Matic, who's an experienced player, Rashford, Martial, Sancho, Greenwood. The list goes on. You can't get away that team with those players in should be playing so much better than it was. So a new manager who can maybe change the style, who can motivate them, who can affect things with his tactics and his approach and maybe his in-game management being a bit more on the ball and maybe just having a more attacking approach and actually being able to implement that attacking approach. Coaching is a big part of the football, guys. You can't discredit it. I mean, it's a massive part of it. That's the difference between a team. You often see it where a team's really failing and then a manager comes in and they have an upturn in form and they do much better because a new approach is being laid out. For instance, Chelsea last season with Frank Lampard going on to win the Champions League, and now look at them. It happens a lot. It happens a lot. That's what change is all about. That's why you change. And as much as the Glazers are shit, and as much as the hierarchy at the club is awful, the board are terrible, and the decisions they make are fucking awful, the players are here. You've got a set of players. So the players are there. You can't deny that. The manager has to get those players to play. So the fact that Solskjaer wasn't able to get them to play is sad, but it's true. He wasn't getting them to play good football. The team was awful. Now, it's not just Solskjaer's fault. Players are bottoming it too, and the coaching staff need to hold their heads and hang their heads in shame as well, but they're still bloody here overseeing the mess. So, you know, a new manager, though, a good manager, a proper tactician, a proper, approach, a fresh approach, surely it could have some good benefits and we'll do better. Maybe not in the long term, like you say. Maybe at some point in a few years, the wheels will fall off again like it seems to. We repeat this cycle post-Fergie. But in the short term, you'd expect there to be an upturn in form. Hopefully. Anyway, that's the idea. That's the idea of sacking Solskjaer and getting a new coach in. Rupert says, Pig, look what happened with Chelsea when they played Leicester with Rodgers and they didn't have Lukaku or Werner. They're back against United. I wouldn't be surprised if Lukaku scored. Yeah, I know, Rupert Meadow. It's going to be tough. Yeah, they didn't even have Lukaku playing and they still bossed it. So I agree, Rupert Meadow, lad. They're the team that's looking really good at the moment and they made a change. That's a prime example. It's a prime example because look at Frank Lampard's team. He had a really good team and a lot of these really good players, but he couldn't get them to perform. Now, they have obviously added Lukaku and stuff like that now, but still, he couldn't get them to perform. Tuchel came in with a different approach, different tactics, and got them almost instantly playing a lot better and winning things. So, that is, you have to sort of take a step back and say objectively, maybe it is for the best that Solskjaer's gone, as long as we get the right person in to actually take us to where we need to be, because you could go on and win the Champions League this season if the right guy comes in with that squad. Hey, if you can get Ronaldo and Bruno and all the rest of them performing like Ronaldo and Bruno and all the rest of them to the best of their abilities, why the fuck not? It's possible. So that's what we've got to aim for. That's the ambition we've got to have. But we also need to get the person in. Nice one, Night Whisper. Thank you, Lynette Giggs. She says, Piggy's at the wheel. Hey, thank you, 3 Minutes Talk on Football, for subscribing to the channel. Nice one. Yeah, if you're new to the channel, guys, smash that subscribe button, hit the sub. We're trying to get to 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if it's your first time around here, tickle that pickle of the like button, my friends. Oh, yeah. Thank you. We've got another update coming here from Matty Rushmana. Let's check this out. So this is in regards to Ralph Rangnick as well. We're talking about interim capacities. So Manchester United, this is from Talk Sport. Take it with a massive pinch of salt. But this is just reported this evening from Talk Sport. Massive pinch of salt required. But Manchester United will make an approach for Ralph Rangnick if they can't get Mauricio Pochettino this season. So if Poch is going to come in the summer, if that's what how the land lies, when they have the conversation and all the debates and negotiations and all the rest of it, then maybe Rangnick will be the one to come in an interim capacity. There's also reports from the Manchester Evening News to say that Steve Bruce is a hot candidate for that role as well. So Rangnick is also in contention there as well for an interim job, should Pochettino not take over. We've also got some more information now to say that Man United face paying out millions after they've obviously given Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's coaching staff McKenna, Phelan, Carrick and Hartis new 3-year contracts only weeks before sacking them. Or sacking Solskjaer. I mean, that is funny, isn't it? That is Man United for you. Like the Phil Jones thing all over again. It's basically we've just Phil Jonesed it, but with players. You're going to sack Solskjaer. We give him a new contract just a little while ago. His coaching staff as well. Man, oh man, oh man. It's a stinker of a run football club. Let's be fair. It's a stinker of a run football club. Right then, guys, let's do this. I think we're only 4 likes away from 150 likes. There's 154 legends in here. What a fucking ratio. Let's be having you. Thank you, everyone, for hitting the thumbs up. We're almost there. Watch Tingles repeat, says Bell691. You know what? I'm getting that tingly back right now, Bell691, mate. You've got back issues as well. I haven't had this before, mate. It's horrible. The last couple of days, I've had like these tingles going on down my back, mate. It sucks. Anyway, it doesn't necessarily hurt. It's just like tingling. Tarek Roof says, Maguire starts. We are in trouble, says Tarek Roof. Oh, you know it. I think he starts as well, mate. You know Carrick's not going to have the bottle to strip the captaincy of him in this short spell. A wheelbarrow of salt, says Andrew Cos. Carrick interim till May, says Stefan. Banter club, let's face it, says Stefan. Hey, steady on now. Never we will be a true banter club. Only for a short spell. We'll bounce back. We'll be a great side again. The support is unreal at Manchester United. We're just shackled by our owners, really. We know that. Ryan Mitchell says, hello, mate. What's going on, Ryan Mitchell? Okay, get your questions in, get your thoughts in, guys. We're having a Q&A for a while, for 10 minutes more into about 11 p.m. So get your thoughts and opinions in, lads and lasses, about anything. I want to hear from you. This is what this channel is about, bit of community vibes and football debate and all the rest of it. So have your say. Disco Dave, mate, what's good, man? He says, like I said earlier, the passion you see from Klopp and Pep on the sidelines is exactly the coach we need, the kind of manager we need. I don't see that in any manager in the running for the job. Great point, Disco Dave. You know, this... It's so shit, isn't it, that Liverpool got Klopp? In all fairness, that would have been the perfect guy for us. I'm not going to go on about it and sound like a fucking idiot so the Scousers can fucking have their fun. But I'm just going to say, like, yeah, it's a fucking big shame, man, because the passion, the style, it's just what we should have, mate. You know, like you see him the other day... you know, when he's got the best of Arsenal, Mikel Arteta's fucking giving it the big bollocks, isn't he? Mikel Arteta, you know, hold me back, hold me back, hold me back. Mikel, you'd get laid out, lad. Let's be honest, Klopp's like twice your size, Mikel. Get back in your coffin. Anyway, so, but either way, you see that, and then you see Klopp's celebration after they fucking score, and he's fucking like, well, you know, he's a passionate guy. You can't deny it, and that is what United should have. So good point. Good point. It's a shame, man. It is a shame. Thank you very much, Rushmana. We've got another update just come in here from the Telegraph, mate. Thank you very much. Growing friction between Mauricio Pochettino and PSG's sporting director Leonardo could open the door for Manchester United to swoop in for Pochettino. So that's interesting, isn't it? So Leonardo over at PSG, obviously their sporting director. We heard quite a lot about him during the summer because he was talking about the Mbappe situation, which in the end didn't materialise, go to Real. But the Telegraph reporting that there is a growing friction between Mauricio Pochettino and PSG sporting director Leonardo, the Brazilian dude who played for AC Milan, if you remember him back in the day. Bit of a handsome bastard, weren't he? But anyway, there you go. Mauricio Pochettino growing friction with Leonardo. So hopefully that's true. Listen, like I've said, Poch is the best of a gash bunch right now. Not necessarily a gash bunch. He's the best of an okay bunch. Is he ideal for the job? No, because he's not proven to win anything. But is he decent in the sense that he's done well with Spurs in the Premier League and got them to play decent stuff and built a good team and did it on a shoestring budget? Yes, he's actually a decent coach. He is a good coach. Thank you, Martin Ellison, says Pig in. So given the choice, I'd go with him right now. Better than some of the other gash candidates we're talking about. Hey, Nathan, best lad. Thank you very much for getting the £5 super chat in, mate. He says, yes, Pig. How you doing, pal? Had my first game of the season today and we beat the league champions, son. Hey, get in there, Nathan, best lad. That is class, lad. What you playing, man? Where you playing, son? That is brilliant, Nathan, best lad. Can we get a so emoji in there for Nathan, lad? Get in. Nathan Best, get in there, man. Thank you very much for the £5 super chat, Nathan. That is good news. I'm glad to hear it, dude. Nice to know somebody's winning some games. Nice to know somebody's winning some poxy games, mate. Because United can't do it at the moment, can we? Klopp would have kicked Arteta's arse, says Stefan. Get back in your coffin. I know, yeah. What is Mikel Arteta? He's like tiny. Hold me back when he's stepping back. You know, fucking pathetic. I love it. I love that. That's funny. But yeah, to be fair, you know, Klopp is a good coach and he is a passionate dude and he's an interesting personality and all the rest of it. He is Liverpool's manager, which is mainly the thing that I really dislike about him. If he wasn't Liverpool's manager, if he was still Borussia Dortmund's manager, I would like him and I would want him. And that's just the truth. But he's not. He's Liverpool manager and he's a scummer. So he needs to do one. And obviously there's no point talking about it or giving the Scousers any sort of fluffing whatsoever by saying they've got a great coach. But we all know they have. That's what's so fucking annoying about it. The Cake Cadet says, we are 100% a banter club. And to be honest, this isn't even an owner issue. This is a dressing room problem. We have had problems in this dressing room for years, says the Cake Cadet. Fair point. I mean, there's still a few players that have been lingering around from a few years ago. Yeah, definitely. That's still part of the problem. That's a good point. It's not just down to coaching or owners. It's also, there are a few bad eggs in the dressing room. Fair one. Thank you very much, Green Forest Bear. He says, I just pressed the like button, Flying Pig. And I thank you, Green Forest Bear, for hitting the like button. You're a legend then, aren't you? Dilvani says, ESPN is reporting PSG has officially contacted Zidane in case Poch leaves. Fantastic, Dilvani. That's wonderful, lad. Yeah, mate. So there you go. I mean, I think that that's the case as well. We talked about it earlier that Zinedine Zidane, there's talks going on in the background there, obviously, with all this information and Poch and his entourage having some contact with United and the interest being there, the understanding that he'd be keen on leaving PSG for United, and he doesn't want to miss up the opportunity. The Independent reported that earlier, that he doesn't want to miss up the opportunity and is prepared to leave mid-season. So because of these bits of information are coming out, other information about him having friction with Leonardo, PSG sporting director, means that it all leads to, hey, maybe we can get Poch sooner rather than later. Zidane or Haag in, says CCR2971. Absolutely. Malp says, we're like Liverpool were in the 90s right now, says Malps. Yeah, I mean, it's sad, isn't it, man? Yeah. I mean, I'm not even sure if we're really to that level, are we? I mean, right now we're... Well, yes, we are. Yeah, we are, definitely. We finished second last year, so we're better than that, really. Poch is not gash, says Batman Knight fan. I mean, he's not gash, no, but he's also not won. What has he won? Tell me what Poch has won then, Batman Knight fan. Go on then. Tell me the CV. Tell me the cabinet, the trophy cabinet. Tell me the accolades. What does Pochettino won, dude? Tell me. That's all that it boils down to for me in a lot of ways. Because I like proven winners. He's not a proven winner. He is a proven good manager with experience in the Prem, though. And like I say, of who's available right now, if you can't get Zidane, then he's probably a good appointment. K Slater 23 says, Pig, how do we keep Varane healthy? In my opinion, he is key to any success with that back line. Oh, you know what, K Slater 23? I don't know. You've got to wrap him up in cotton wool, don't you? How do you keep him fit, man? He's an injury-prone player. You've seen injury-prone players throughout the years. Owen Hargreaves, it's like you want that guy fit all the time, but he's not. He won't ever be either. But when he is fit, you've got to play him. I feel like that's the case with Varane. He probably will miss like a third of the games throughout most of the seasons that he's here. He's very injury-prone. He's got very twitchy hamstrings and calves and all the rest of it. He's just injury-prone. Some players are not. Look at Ronaldo. I mean, you can count the times Ronaldo's been out injured for any length on one hand, really, throughout his career, and he's looking old. Varane is injured every other bloody month. So, I don't know, I think you can't really do much about that. You've just got to hope that he has a good run and a good spell, and he doesn't get injured. Yeah, the match is on BT Sports 3 tomorrow, Big God Bob. Thank you very much. Absolutely, finally, it's on the bloody UK TV again. Get in there, and it's at 5:45 p.m. So, anybody wondering, 5:45 p.m. kickoff. We'll be getting go. I think it's, hang on, is it 5:30 actually? Wait a second. I think it's 5:45. Yeah, 5:45 p.m. tomorrow, UK time, from Spain. Villarreal versus Manchester United will be taking place in the, what the fuck's their stadium called again? The Estadio de la Ceramica, or something like that. Ceramica. Oh yes, Estadio de la Ceramica. So that's where it's taking place, and Manchester United need to go there and get a smash and grab done, really. My prediction earlier, as I say, I think it will probably be quite a defensive display from us. I predict a 4-2-3-1, but maybe a 5-3-2, a defensive display, counter-attacking, try and pinch a result. That's kind of how I feel will be the order of the day for Carrick tomorrow. The game in Simp, how are you doing, the Simpinator? What's happening in the game in Simp? Eddie O2 says, Pigo, Poch has good football, which can always win games, and then trophies. Managers have to start somewhere. That's a very, very good point. Yeah, that's a very good point. I mean, yes, but I do think if you look at some of the best managers, some of the good indicators, throughout the years, they do win trophies, man. They do win trophies, and he's been a serial failure when it comes to the winning trophies. I mean, look at Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho at Porto winning the Champions League, and then what did he do? Came to England, came to Chelsea, proceeded to win, and then wherever he's gone, he's won. So there's proven winners, and then there's people who are proven good managers who don't win. I don't want to get stuck with a manager who's good and gets us pootling along, getting third place, second place, challenging, but never winning anything. I want somebody that eye of the tiger, baby. I want the eye of the tiger. You know what I'm saying, Eddie? But yeah, fair play. Poch is a good coach. Listen, he probably, in terms of stylistically, it's going to be better than Solskjaer, you would think, stylistically, if you look at that Spurs side. But you just never know until we see. The proof is in the pudding. Is he going to be the right fit for Manchester United? Sometimes it's about managers fit in the club. Look at David Moyes at Everton, look at David Moyes at West Ham. But if you look at him at Real Sociedad or at Manchester United, he's a complete shadow of a man. So it really does depend where you go and how things click as well, I think. So that is a good point. By the way, speaking of Mr. Eddie O2, right, I want us to do a cheeky little Bacon Brigade show of support here, yeah? Because Mr. Eddie O2 is a Don, and he's on this channel. I'm actually going to put a link to his video. He's actually going to do a video tomorrow on the channel as well, with some of the lads post-match after I've done my watch-along and stuff, giving his thoughts and opinions. Eddie's a top lad. I'm going to put a link in the live chat here, guys. I just want you guys to go over there and subscribe. Also, smash a like on this video, because Eddie's just started his own football channel, Eddie's Football Waffle. You know him from the channel. He does the fan debate shows. Eddie O2 is the host. He's a handsome bastard, and he's a great host, and he's also a big Man United fan. So check him out. Here is his page. I just want to give him a shout out because he is a good dude, and he's just started on YouTube. And let's see if we can boost him to 100 subscribers, guys, using that Bacon Brigade power. Let's go. Okay. So I've put it in the live chat here, guys. There's 164 of you in here. Go and give him a cheeky little subscribe. Man United fan. He's going to start doing Man United content and stuff. Top man. Thank you, Eddie O2. Dean M says it's about time Man United got a female manager. What say you, says Dean M. About time. You see, I don't really believe that. I don't really believe it is about time. You know what I think it's about? I think it's about who's actually fit for the job, who's actually suitable and properly qualified for the job. If there was a trailblazing manager who worked their way up through the men's game and proved it in the men's game as management, you know, at the top level, you know, reasonably top level, let's just say Edwina Howe or someone like that, or, you know, Griselda Potter, you know, someone like that was doing bits here for Brighton or Bournemouth or whoever, then yeah, fair enough. But you can't just take someone from the women's game who's been coached in the women's game and put them into the men's game and expect them to be able to do the same thing. You need to have them prove that they've got the leadership qualities, the managerial ability to manage men. Because I'm sorry to say, this is men we're talking about here, and we are different. We are different to ladies, you know. So that's how it goes. I hate to be the one to tell you that, but men and women are a little bit different, you know. Oh, so I don't know. I mean, listen, if they've got the ability to do it, why the hell not? But they need to prove it. You can't just chuck somebody in Man United manager on a whim just because they've done well in the women's game. It has to be done within the men's game first before anybody would be given an opportunity. But I'm all for it, guys. I'm not saying no. I'm just saying you need to earn it like anybody else. It shouldn't matter what you got down there in your downstairs mix-up. What it should matter is, are you good enough for the job of being a manager for Manchester United? Hey, Mike, thank you so much, Mike, for getting in with a $14.99 super chat. Bloody hell, Aussie legend getting in here from down under. He says, morning, mate. I'm sick of hearing about how good our squad is. Yeah, we have talented forwards, but average midfield. Although Donny looks good and absolutely gash defenders apart from... Oh, sorry, guys. Sorry, that was not even an Australian accent. I don't know. Mike, he says, morning, mate. I'm sick of hearing how good our squad is. Yes, we have talented forwards, but average midfield, although Donny looks good. And absolutely gash defenders, apart from Varane, says Mike. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I wouldn't say our defenders are gash. I'd say Luke Shaw was incredible last season, and he's been a good stand over the last couple of years. This season, he's been really poor. Somebody could probably get the best out of him in the right system, though, I think. I think Maguire is a useless slab. I think Varane's amazing. Wan-Bissaka, to me, is a great defender. So I only really agree with one of those, to be fair, properly. Now, the midfield, you're absolutely right, is shocking. Absolutely shocking. And you say Donny looks good, and that's true. Donny does look good. He's not proven yet either. We've only seen a little bit from him. So maybe Donny will be good, but maybe Donny is actually overrated. Who knows? We don't know yet. It'll be. I think from what we've seen, he looks really good. I definitely want to see him played. But it's not like he's guaranteed to be fucking Scholesy just at this moment in time. So yeah, you're right about the midfield. The midfield is bang average. Like we were talking about just a moment ago. Leicester City, Brendan Rodgers. You know, they've got a good squad there. They've got Tielemans, they've got Ndidi, both of those players. If we could just take both of those, we'd be a much better team. And they both get into our team. So that tells you everything about the quality of our midfield. It is not quite there. But the rest of the team is more or less there, in my opinion. But, you know, the attack is brilliant. I think the defence is solid. Even if you just dropped Maguire and played like Bailly and Varane, I think that could be a combination that could work and be a solid defence. Hey, we got an update. Thank you very much, Matty the Rushmano here. Let's have a look at this. So French source in that are suggesting that Paris Saint-Germain have made contact with Zinedine Zidane in case of Mauricio Pochettino's departure to Manchester United. So another source coming in, guys, to suggest that that is the case, that Zinedine Zidane is being contacted by PSG in case Pochettino goes to United soon. PSG have made contact with Zinedine Zidane in case of departure of manager Pochettino. This is from ESPN also. So another source, ESPN now reporting, of course, that PSG have made contact with Zinedine Zidane in case of a potential departure of Mauricio Pochettino. Hey, you know what? This could be happening sooner rather than later. You just never know. I think we need to get it done soon. The board have fannied around here. If they put an interim in charge, it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. They need to get a permanent manager in now. I think they need to pay the money, get the compensation to PSG. They're going to go and get Zidane, and everybody's happy then. To a degree. Disco Dave says, well, Sir Alex came down from Aberdeen and with hardly anything, and look what happened then. And he was almost about to be sacked at Man U, so medals and trophies don't mean everything. True, but he did show some good abilities in management before that, though, because he did, of course, win a European trophy with a Scottish team, which is not easy, man. And he also won the Scottish League with a Scottish team other than Celtic or Rangers, which I think at the time was the first time that had happened for 20 years. So you can't discredit that. That is pretty good. I know it's not doing it at the biggest stage, though, so you're right about that, Disco Dave, but it's not like he didn't win anything before coming. Getting a European trophy, any European trophy, even like a Vase trophy or fucking any European trophy with a Scottish team, you've got to be pretty decent, I think, just to be able to do that. The Kate Cadet says, I'd take Tyrone Mings over Slabby, not even joking. Yeah, me too. Lynette Giggs says, Poch has the ability to improve players, for instance, Harry Kane. Great shout as well, Lynette Giggs. Yeah, development of players is key. He developed more or less all of those players at Spurs really well into a good team on a shoestring budget over a period of time. So you can't deny that. He is good at building teams. Attempt for an interim. What next? An understudy for a teen lady, says Big God Bob. Probably with our club. Isn't that Phil Jones? Isn't Phil Jones the understudy for the teen lady there, Big God Bob? No FIFA tonight, Lord Reptile. I'm still under the weather, mate, and I've got a sore throat. And I'm just going to rest up and take it easy tonight, man, and have the night off, to be fair, of FIFA, and get back at it tomorrow, because hopefully my vocal cords will be a little bit better by then. Poch will be great. Greenwood, Rashi, Sancho, Mason, yes. Ryan, you'd leave Carrick in charge till Ed Woodward leaves next month, then let Murtagh choose the new manager since he's a director of football. Okay, Ryan, but still, though, Carrick could really do us some damage between now and then. I'm not saying that he will, but he's not an experienced coach, and, we're just going to be sort of floundering in limbo with Carrick in charge right now. We can't let Ed Woodward choose another manager. Good shout, Ryan. Poch is inevitable. It seems like Poch to me, Stefan. It looks like he's the one who's going to come, whether it's in the summer, whether it's in January, or whether it's now. It does seem like Poch is going to be the one with how things are shaping up. If Cavani goes, we can buy Kane as a replacement. That's what I was thinking about, my night fan. Nobody wants him, though, in the fan base. Apparently, I do, though. Me and you agree. I think that if you got rid of Cavani and Ronaldo's leaving in 18 months as well, like Kane would be okay for a couple of seasons, man. He's a proven goal scorer in the league. Then again, he's a bit injury prone. I don't know. But there is that link there. Son Heung-min would be the one. If we could go and raid Spurs for anybody, I'd get Son Heung-min. That would be a delight. Slabby is the understudy of face pulling to Phil Jones, says Charlie Anthony. Get Mrs. P to make more tea, says Donna Ketty. Yeah, that's a good idea. I should do, shouldn't I? Another 6 out of 10 tea. She's like the Scotty McTominay of tea makers. Thank you, Eddie Oto. He says, good job liking, guys. Pats on the back and run. Hey, we got 170 likes, guys. That's really good. Thank you, everyone who smashed the like button. Appreciate you all hitting the thumbs up. Please do hit the like if you haven't done so. Would Kane follow Poch to United? Ronaldo and Kane up front sounds tasty. I agree, Disco Dave. I think Kane is proven in the Premier League to the point where he's got 20-odd goals, 25 goals, more or less every season now for 5 years or so. He's going to be England's all-time leading goal scorer as well at some point pretty soon. He's almost catching up Wayne Rooney already. So it's just inevitable, really. He's a goal scorer. So it makes sense. Poch knows him. He wants to leave Spurs. Spurs don't match the ambitions of Harry Kane. He's not going to win anything at Spurs. He almost left in the summer. If City didn't buy Grealish, maybe they would have bought Kane. And in the end, he stayed, but I think it was not out of choice, really. It's just nobody was prepared to come in for that money. And obviously, Tottenham were asking for a heck of a lot of money as well. So I could see that maybe happening down the line. Not tonight, MUFC fan. The FIFA will be back tomorrow, though. Could see Sun at United, says Stefan. No more English bias in United. Haaland, says Ill United. Tough, isn't it? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, there was that link with Solskjaer and Haaland and that sort of thing, but I do think that we could still get Haaland, but I think it's less realistic. I think he probably will end up going to, I don't know, Barca, Real, or City even, just for the money and sort of because they are winning things right now, and the link there with his dad. Could you see Son at United? I could. Stefan Antonio, great player for United, but Tottenham wouldn't want to sell him us. We'd have to pay through the nose. More medicinal whiskey pigs, says Charlie Anthony. Maybe a touch, but not right now. Kane is fed up at Spurs. Spot on, John. He can't win anything. He's never going to win anything. He's going to be the big, slabby English striker version of Gerrard. Same sort of deal, except even worse than Gerrard, actually, because Gerrard won, Gerrard, although he didn't win anything for England, like Kane, he won in the Champions League, is what I'm saying. He did have some success with Liverpool, whereas Kane's had zero success with Spurs, so it's even worse. He needs to go somewhere he can win some trophies before his career winds down. He's getting on now. He's injury prone as it is. He's getting on. The time is ticking away from him. If he wants to end up a big Spurs version of Gerrard, then fair enough. But if he wants to end up with a trophy, he's got to go. He's got to move in the next window or the summer window. Ian Dawn thinks Kane's too old, rather get Daka from Chelsea. Fair enough. I mean, I still think, Kane's only 29, isn't he? Or is he 30? No, hang on. How old's Harry Kane? 28. He's only 28. He's not too old. I thought he was 29. He's not. He's only 28. He's not too old. Come on. The way sports science is these days, Kane will be a good player until he's 32, 33. No worries. He's got that movement, that finishing ability, that instinct. He's not the most skillful. He's not the most quickest, but he's very, very intelligent with his movement and stuff like that. I think he'll be a really good finisher up until 33, 34. No worries. So he's still young enough. If United went in for something like that, I think that would serve us well. Post Cavani, post Ronaldo, Harry Kane makes a lot of sense. He's a proven goal scorer in the Premier League. People say, "Oh, he's too old and stuff." Hey, you're looking at somebody who is literally, pretty much the only player in a long time that's got the potential to beat Alan Shearer's goal scoring record of 260 league goals. So he's a goal scorer, man. Kane is overpriced, but his contract's running down. Right, I don't know how long he's got left on it. I think it's quite a while, though. But ultimately, the longer that Spurs keep hold of him, the price just drops and drops and drops. They would want so much money for him, though. Spurs wanted, I believe, they were asking for over 100 million and a player for Harry Kane from Man City in the summer, which is why they didn't go for him. He's not finished. He's only 28. Exactly, Ryan. 100+ million for 4 years. Not sure, says Ian Dawn. I wouldn't pay that much for him, I agree. But maybe you could see United do something like give Spurs a player in exchange. Like, that could happen. Think about Tony Martial. Tony Martial, to me, is kind of, expendable at this football club. He's a good player. If we could get rid of him and get somebody better, though, I'd be quite happy to do that. He's good, but he's not great. Maybe they would take him. It's a good fit for Spurs. Martial at Spurs, I could see that. Something like that. I'm just saying there is possibilities. You don't have to go and spend 100 mil. Anyway, basically, guys, we're going to wrap this video up there. It's been an absolute pleasure hanging out with the Bacon Brigade and chatting. I've just realised it's 11:15, so we've got a bit carried away here with the chat and the length for the video, so we better end it there. But thank you so much for everybody that's tuned in tonight. We're going to have a night off FIFA. We're just going to chill tonight and, get back at it tomorrow, lads and lasses. My voice is pretty mashed up and I keep coughing every few minutes. So I'm going to rest up. Lads and lasses, and take it easy tonight. And hopefully by tomorrow we'll be a lot better. So we are a lot better already compared to the last couple of days, but we've done a lot of talking. Need to rest those vocal cords and get back at it tomorrow, dudes. Bell says, please don't go. I've got to wrap it up. Thank you, Eddie02 says, great show, Piggo. Recharge. Thank you, Eddie02. And once again, guys, click the link at the top of the live chat and go and subscribe to Eddie's Football Waffle channel, guys. Go and give him some support. He's obviously on this channel. He's a host of shows on this channel and a member of the panel of few select fan legends that we have on this channel also. So go and show some love. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Stefan, Bell, Rushmano, mate. Go and check out Rushmano's Twitter page as well, transfers_UTD, for the latest updates and transfer information and retweets and updates he does. It's a great page for keeping up to date as well. Thank you for all the updates, Rushmano. Lynette Giggs, have a great evening, Lynette. Night Whisper, Big God Bob, Rushy, Booty, all the moderators. Thank you for moderating the live chat. All the channel members, thank you for supporting the show and being channel members. Batman Night Fan, the game of the generation as well. Rushmano, Disco Dave, Batman, the big guy, Big Gob, the Cake Cadet, Bell, Vutinator, Stefan, Batman, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. 40-year-old Virgil. That's the end of the stream. Come back after it's finished if you want in the not live comments and get your predicted lineups in there. So get your starting 11s in there and your formations in the not live comments after it's finished. And also get your score predictions in there. So I'm going 1-1. And you know I'm thinking of the 4-2-3-1. I'll leave that up at the end there so you can see my final prediction of what I think is going to happen. There it is. Get yours in. Come back after it's finished. Comment afterwards. Tell me your starting 11s. Tell me your prediction. And I'll look forward to reading those, guys. Before we go, Kingface, you're a prat, aren't you? I'm just going to not let you have the time there with that one. I'm not even responding. He's just super chatted $2. You're a knob. You're a knob, Kingface. Okay. Hashim47, mate, thank you for watching. Everybody else as well. Go and follow Eddie, yeah? Go and follow Eddie. What a fucking legend. See you later on, guys. Do us a massive favor. Like this video before you go. Subscribe if you're new. Follow us on social media at Flying Pig United on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. If you were looking for a bit more preview talk, go back and watch the start of this video if you were not here at the start. For the first half an hour, 40 minutes of this video, we're talking all about the Villarreal game tomorrow. So if you want to hear a bit more about that and you've just joined us now, go back and watch the video for the preview of the game. But that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll be back tomorrow. Come on, United. Carrick at the wheel. Tell me, how bang average does it feel? But hey, let's get behind it while he's here for a couple of games. Probably just this one and the Chelsea one, hopefully. And then maybe they'll appoint somebody else. But right now, we've got to get behind it, my friends. Take it easy. Have a great day. Thank you for watching. I'm resting up tonight, so I'll be back at it tomorrow. Thank you, everybody, all the mods, all the members, all the legends for tuning in, all the chatters, Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway, Hashim, Illa, and all the legends in here. Come on, green and gold until the club is sold. Love United, hate the Glazers, hashtag Glazers out. I'm going to end it there, guys. Have a great evening. See you tomorrow, and come on, United. And remember, when the seagulls follow the trawler, as this is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much. I pressed the wrong thing. Bye, guys. So